Whatever.
Hello, welcome to the Whatever Show. I'm one of your hosts, Alex Drake, and this is Dragon Pack. And today we'll be talking about Season 1 and 2 of Pennyworth. Pennyworth, for people who don't know, is the story of Alfred Pennyworth, the butler to Batman.
Yep. We're getting some real big time backstory finally. Now, this is based off of the Alfred Pennyworth that we see in the Gotham series. This is not, the different Pennyworths, the different Alfreds have varied over the years. But they all have been the good, proper English butler. And only when we got to the Gotham TV series did we get an Alfred that trains Bruce. And they use this as a basis for the TV series Pennyworth, which is where Alfred, right after he's gotten out of the military, lives in London, and when he first meets Thomas Wayne, we end up meeting Martha Wayne, and we start seeing how eventually, we're not there yet, Alfred will become the guardian, protector, and butler to the Waynes. But first, we've got to meet Alfred. Now, Alfred, we first meet Alfred. He is one of several members of an SAS squad that have gotten out of the service. The SAS, if you don't realize what they are basically the equivalent of the U.S.'s Delta Force. The SBS is the equivalent of our SEALs. It stands for Special Air Squadron or Special Boat Squadron. The SAS, they're killers. And Alfie has come out and he wants to live a somewhat peaceful life, but he's going to become a security specialist. And we see in Season 1 how he tries to set up his business, and he ends up going back and forth, working between different organizations and making different friends, having different scenarios, as Alfie learns the situation in his country is FUBAR. His country is falling apart. Many of you might see some parallels in the United States today. It's interesting to note. But Season 1, Alfie falls in love.
Yep.
Alfie's engaged to be married. Somebody from Alfie's past kills her.
Yeah. Poor Alfie.
Alfie and another character we meet who she's problematic.
Yeah.
She's a nut job.
Yeah.
She kidnaps his girlfriend when his girlfriend and him breaks up. He rescues his girlfriend. The girl who works for the Raven Society, who's going to... They're trying to blackmail him into giving them Bruce Wayne. And Bess, which is the bad girl, is the one who's put in charge of watching Alfie's girlfriend. Well, Bess likes Alfie's girlfriend. Bess is unhinged. Keep that in mind. So when rescues her and they finally catch Bess gets put in prison and is going to be executed.
Yep.
Bess's sister rescues Bess, and Bess is sitting out there on the outskirts watching and ends up helping Alfie kill the guy that kill the bad guy.
Yeah.
Well, long and twisted story. Alfie goes to jail, gets out of jail. While he's out of jail, he's supposed to kill somebody, doesn't kill them. Probably should have.
Yeah.
But this is your story, and Alfie's father tries to blow up everybody. That's season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2 is England after this situation. What you have in England is you've got 3 groups. Well, more than 3 groups, but 3 main groups. You have the Royalists, you have the No Name Society, and the Raven Society. The Raven Society are basically your fascists. The No Name Society is basically your utopian dreamers. And the Royalists are just trying to get along.
Yeah.
Trying to keep things from falling apart. Season 2, the Royalists and the No Names and everybody else have joined together to fight against the Raven Society, who has basically convinced the military to join them, and pretty much has won the battle already. They've got most of the country, except for the major cities.
And they realize if they take out London, the rest will fall.
In the Raven Society, you have first their leader, who is a nut job.
Yeah.
Who is working with somebody who is even more of a nut job, trying to develop super weapons. Now, here's where you got to realize we're no longer talking about reality. This is the part where most people are it's going to mess them up, because this is no longer the England we know. This is England, comic book England.
Yep.
And you're dealing with whack jobs and people that are basically going to turn science on its head.
Yeah.
We meet Lucius Fox in this series. We've already met Thomas Wayne and Martha. And yes, in season 2, they finally do get married.
Yes.
Why? Because she's pregnant. But, as he told her, whether we get married now or get married later, it's still going to happen. Because he loves her. So now we have Thomas and Martha Wayne. We have her already pregnant with Bruce. Although this is what we believe. We don't know for sure. They haven't said this is Bruce. And Alfie, who has gone from... Alfie's got a really tough emotional growth to go through. At one point in this, he's all about getting out of the country. It's all about him. And granted, he isn't thinking solely about himself. He wants to save his mom, he wants his friends to leave, and to get out of the mess. But how far he's willing to go to get that, I mean, he sank pretty low. He ended up becoming a criminal for a little bit. And in the end, Alfie chooses
to stay
and fight for his country. Gets everybody else on the plane, life's good, they stay and fight. And you see the emotional growth and the moral growth, where he's finally recognized that yes, there are things worth fighting for, there are things worth dying for, and you can't just take quick. There's no shortcuts in life.
Yeah.
What you have with Pennyworth is giving us, the viewer, the opportunity to see the depths of Alfred.
Mm-hmm.
From a character who, sadly, in many of the Batman shows, is either a yes man or uh, uh, a co-conspirator at the best, to somebody who is not only a co-conspirator but whose goal is to help Bruce be the best he can be,
Mm-hmm.
and will keep him alive if he can. It's a unique situation. I mean, if you look at the old TV series, you're never really sure what to make of Alfred.
Mm-hmm.
He's just the butler.
Yeah.
And in some shows, he's just the butler, a trusted butler.
Mm-hmm.
Other shows, he's actually a co-conspirator. He helps design things and fix things. You usually get Alfred being one of the few that can lay judgment and judge how Batman behaves.
Mm-hmm.
He has that moral superiority that keeps Batman in line. Granted, he wants Batman to have kids, and quite a few of them.
Yeah.
It's time for you to grow up.
Mm-hmm.
But now we start seeing a little bit about the person behind this.
Yeah.
And I will admit, I loved both seasons.
Yeah, I did too. Because
I mean, he becomes real. You slowly start seeing the butler.
Uh-huh.
And it's really kind of interesting to see where they're going with it. I do figure they need at least one more season, if not two.
Yeah.
Anything less than that, they will have not done the story right. And I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Those of you that are Batman aficionados, this is a great show.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you that don't really give a damn about Batman, and you're watching us, that's kind of odd, but that's okay. You're going to like the show anyway because it's not Batman. It's Pennyworth. And it's really quite good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even Thomas Wayne has grown through this.
Yeah, from being,
Yeah. To somebody who's going to stand up for what is right.
yeah. When he even tells his own country, whatever. I don't
You're
listen
wrong.
to you. You're wrong. Tend to fight.
There is a little bit of the PC BS through it, but it's not very strong. They were able to keep it from ruining the show.
Mm-hmm.
So, all in all, I'd say, yeah, go get, if you haven't seen Pennyworth, go get it.
Yeah, go see it. It's good.
Download it, watch it, stream it, however you want to call it. It's worth your time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really looking forward to seeing where they go with it.
Yep.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens next with it.
Yes.
You got some really good potentials here. And there's not a lot of shows out there that I can say that for. So, if you got a chance, go check it out. We're not going to spoil too much of it this time.
Yeah.
You never know. But our opinion is Pennyworth is worth your time.
Mm-hmm.
Go check it out.
Yes.
Thank you.
Please. Have a great day.